Hello guys, in this video I'll be showing you the best tips and methods you can actually use in order to get higher in the TNT Run tournament. I have around 10 tips that I'll be giving you, and then I'm going to be explaining what I do in my games and how that can help you. So the first tip I would give you is running backwards from the start of the game, as immediately there is a ton of people in one area. People usually throw slownesses, sometimes speed, but that's rare, and then if you turn around you can actually find an area which is safe and you can plan out where you're going to be. If you run forward, there's usually around 10 people all in one area, so when blocks start breaking, you basically fall immediately, and there's no help in that. Now my second tip is doing normal plays, so don't be too risky when you're the only one on that layer, as you can be more conservative with your blocks, like saving them. Whereas if you're doing dodgy jumps that could possibly make you fall, it's really stupid, because you don't need to be doing those jumps unless other people are in the area, then it changes it a little bit. Tip 3 I would say is do not try kill other players. A lot of newer players to TNT Run think that trying to kill other players will actually help you, but realistically I don't feel like it does, as you're putting yourself at risk, and a lot of the time you'll end up falling as well, so you're possibly making them fall. Sometimes they even get out of it, but then you fall as well because of that, and it's just not effective. Number 4 is do not waste your slownesses on yourself, and try not using it on other people, because you want to save them for the later game opportunities where you need to save blocks. The best time to use them is near the end of the game when there's not too many blocks, not too many people. You can splash yourself and just conserve blocks, just be really slow with it and save them. My tip number 5 would probably be sprint running and using the speed early on, as you can get a large amount of blocks gone when you don't need them as much. You can hopefully get some other people down, which helps you more, but then during the later game you don't really need speed as much unless you're going for further jumps. Number 6 I would say is try keep as much distance as you can with other people. This kind of goes with my previous thing, where a lot of people will end up dying because they're near other people. The other person will make a decision and it just doesn't go in your favor. You can fall, or just something happens and it just doesn't work for you. If there's a large area of blocks and then one person is on it, maybe you could go for it, but it all depends on how many blocks you have and how fast they're using their blocks. Number 7 is really obvious, but it's conserve your double jumps, as they will be so vital during the end games. You will need them so much, as even if you fall and there's like no blocks in your area, you can just use your double jumps and it saves like a good amount of time. It could be at least 10 seconds if you have all of them. That gives the other player time to fall, and if they have a less amount of double jumps or they don't have any, you've won the game. But let's say there are still blocks in the area, you can then double jump higher or stay on your level and find more blocks around you that you can then use and try to win the game. Number 8 I would say is, if you know what you're doing, try and do single block jumps. This is harder with certain blocks like gravel, as you can't really see where the block is. However, a good tip for that is staying near the edges, as then you have a less chance of getting 2 blocks gone at once, which will usually kill you. This technique is usually better for people who really know what they're doing, as a lot of newer players struggle with this, as they end up getting 2 gone at once and then they fall and then it's done. But yeah, if you really know what you're doing, or you want to learn because you've actually got like 5 days before the tournament, make sure to learn that, because it will be really good for you. Another thing that you can do is also shift. If you shift a lot while moving to different blocks, you can slow yourself down, which inevitably leaves you more time with less blocks. Number 9, in my opinion, I would say do not use the feather in your inventory, as you get less of a jump than you do if you just double tap spacebar. That one flings you up high. You can get further to other blocks that are further away from you, whereas if you use a feather, that's mainly really used if you're worried of being glitched, but I've never really had that, to be honest, so I wouldn't worry about that. Number 10 I would say is learn the maps that are in the tournament. The reason for this is some maps have where the top bit is really small, the middle bit is bigger, and then the bottom one has different sizing. So there's one map specifically with gravel and sand, I can't remember the name of it, but if you go to one of the sides, there's no bottom bit, so if you fall you're gone. But if you stay near the middle, there's actually underlayer, so you have more chance of surviving. But it's all down to how many blocks there are, if you're feeling risky, how many people there are, and anything like that. Now throughout this I've had my own clip running where you can understand how I play. I did do some mistakes, I'll be honest. Some of the things I listed in this video I failed to do myself. It happens, sometimes it just doesn't go to plan. That's part of life. When you're playing the tournament you realise sometimes it just doesn't go how you want it to, and that's understandable because there's a lot of players and a lot of them are good. There's a lot of good TNT Run players, so you've just got to work with what you've got to prevent that. Now, this isn't a tip, but this is just for tactical timing on the TNT Run tournament. I would say when the tournament comes out, play immediately, because there's going to be a lot of people who just want to do their games, and they're not as good at the game, thinking they can maybe win. When they're not good at the game, they're not going to win. You can take advantage of that, basically. A lot of people will be playing a lot of their games later on in the tournament, and those will be usually the good ones, because they know they can take their time with it, they can get their games done when they want, and anything like that. But yeah, thank you for watching. That's pretty much everything. The game's pretty self-explanatory. You just need to learn certain tricks, like the single jump, for example, learning how to use a double jump effectively, and anything like that. You've just got to have a good game IQ, really, because you need to understand all your movements before you do it. When I play, I look where I'm going to jump, but I've already calculated where I'm going to go after that. Sometimes there's moments where you just forget and you just jump, but in general, you need to know where you're going after that jump you're making, so you can always be prepared for anything. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy. I wish you all the best of luck in the tournament. I hope it goes how you want. I hope you get some tributes and get some nice stuff. Now, just to point out, I will actually be streaming the tournament on my Twitch. I'm going to be playing some TNT Run myself. You can watch me play to see if you want to learn from me. I'm not the best, but I'm not bad. But yeah, my Twitch will be in the description, and feel free to check it out there. Anyway, thank you guys for watching.